Hi, good afternoon, everybody. So, let's have a brief discussion about the research paper again. So, this is Mr. James from English department, and today I want to discuss deeply about how to write a research paper. Okay, so the, there are many things to be discussed here, but the main thing which is going to be discussed, I want to share about the thing here. Okay, so the first part of the research paper is your introduction. That's very important. So in the introduction part, we'll be dealing with where you provide introduction to the topic of your thesis as where the content of the research project. Okay, so what you're going to share in the project as well as in the writings of your research paper. So the introduction part includes what you're going to share or what you're going to share or what you're going to say. That's very important here. So the significance of the study will mainly focus on the question who will benefit from the study. So in the introductory part, we has to say the information that this paper as well as the this topic or this writing is benefited or used for whom. Okay, that's very important. Is it for useful for the society, or is it useful for individual, or is it useful for the persons who are in need, and how this study or how this writing is useful for such a persons outside or inside or wherever it might be. Okay, so this section will state the contribution of your study and the usefulness of your study in the society. Okay, so in this part you may get data and information from many books, magazines or newspapers. Okay, so you should be much more have an idea about it. Should also be organized to cover specific problems, whatever the problems might be. You should be able to know about all those problems, and you should have the evidence about the author's experience. Okay, before writing a paper, we should have a thorough knowledge about the author and his experiences of whatever he has published so far. Okay, as much as possible get the latest published materials, the materials we should collect from the author, what the materials he has written already, and we have to avoid old published materials. Okay, and it must be related to our topic. Okay, whatever the topic we have taken, it should be related, whether the books or magazines or any newspapers, all those things should be related to our topic. And the last part of this part, you must have a statement of how this old published material helps the researcher in the current study and related to your study. Okay, so that's very important. The problem must be reflected to your title, or the readers must know your problem with just simply reading your topic. See, actually, the title should be very prompted, and it should be cover the whole topic of what you are writing. If the topic is not correct, then the entire problem will be very much problematic. Okay, so data may be analyzed quantitatively or qualitatively depending on the level of measurement and the number of dimensions and variations of the study. So in a research paper, data that is collected should be analyzed and quantitatively, qualitatively. In both aspects, it should be collected. Okay, and it's not only collected, it should be analyzed in both quantitatively and qualitatively. That's very important. Okay, analyze in depth to give meaning to the data presented in the table. So before giving a research paper, we should be able to give a statistical as well as very declarative sentences that contains what is this table or what is this writing is about. Okay, so we have to tell about the establishment of interconnection between the among data. Okay, so many data will be there, so on which data you are giving information and how it is interconnected, we should be telling about that. And for indicators whether it is hypothesis or supported or not by findings. Okay, and link the present findings with the previous literature. So we have to link this present findings with the previous literature, and we have to use parallel observations with contemporary events to give evidence presented in the introduction part. Okay, so next we have to deal with the action plan here. This describes the problem, research design, and the findings, answer to the questions raised. The recommended format is the paragraph form instead of the enumeration form. So here in this action plan, it describes about the problem, research design, and the findings. So what is the problem in this study, and what is the designs you have made, and what are the findings you have made. So for all these things, what is the action plan you have taken, it could be elaborated. Okay, And the format of this is that it should be based on the findings and conclusions of the study. Okay, recommendations by the specific or general or both. They must include suggestions for further studies. There should be non-technical language. That's very very important in the sense it should not be in the technical, it should be in the non-technical language, and they should be feasible, workable, flexible, doable and adaptable. So we should not use any hardest languages or words. We should use only feasible, flexible words so that we can able to find out what is being discussed easier. Okay.